Hi everyone, welcome to the quick and busy summer semester of Introduction to Law. If you are watching this video, then you have found the right place to begin and the right place to welcome you to this class. You are here on our Blackboard page under a link called Start Here, and you have found a couple of videos to welcome you to the class. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to introduce myself and to tell you a little bit about the class and also give you a little bit of show and tell, if you will, of where all the important links are in our Blackboard page and just kind of go over a little bit about how our semester will work. So with that said, I will get started. My name is Hallie Sugarman and I am the instructor for this Introduction to Law course. I'm also the program chair, coordinator, department head for the Paralegal Studies program here at Middlesex Community College. Some of you I've already had the pleasure of speaking with, and I want to welcome you to the class and to the Paralegal Studies program. Some of you I don't know yet, and I look forward to getting to know you. As some of you may know, this class is a required course if you're in the Paralegal Studies program, but it is also a social science elective. So I know that some of you are in other majors in other areas, may be interested in legal studies, may not be interested in legal studies at all, but the class fit into your schedule. And I want to welcome you also, because one of the things I love most about this class is the diversity of opinions and experiences. And you may already know this, but the law is really a very busy, interesting area to talk about, and it would be actually a little bit more dull if we all were here for the exact same reason. So I look forward to hearing everybody's opinions, and our work together this semester will be, that much more interesting because you all come from different areas of study and experiences. Okay. Now, so let's get started on a little bit on the class. So as you know, this is a fully online class. There is no requirement for you to log on to a Zoom or to meet online at any particular time of day. We call that type of class asynchronous. So what that means is you have a lot of flexibility in your day as to when you get the work done for the class. It's not like you have to log on or be on campus for 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, for example. There are deadlines, and I will go over those because this is not a completely self-paced class. But I've organized the class into what is really 5 weeks, because the class is really about 4.5 weeks. So there's 5 particular units of study, and within each of those units, it breaks down to each week. There are deadlines each week. But when you do that work is up to you. So if you're a night owl and you like to do your work at midnight, that's great. If you're a morning person like me and you like to get your work done at 7 a.m., that's great too. If you want to intersperse it throughout the day, that is totally up to you as long as you make the deadlines. So just a little bit about where everything is our class and how it's organized. So here we are on our Blackboard page. A couple of important things that you'll see right away is that I have it organized by weekly announcements. So you've actually already seen one of the announcements because after I make these videos, I send out an announcement, and I'll do that pretty regularly throughout our time together. There's a link here for the syllabus, which is all the nuts and bolts and rules for the whole class, plus an outline of what we are doing each week and the assignments that are due. You should read that almost. If you haven't done it already, then when you're done with these videos, please read the syllabus. I know it's long, but it does have a lot of critical information in it. I've also right here under the Start Here button, I'm just going to scroll down, but there is, it's not under here, it's under syllabus. Under the syllabus link, not only is the full syllabus here, going a little slow, but you can scroll down, and I've actually copied and pasted the topics and deadlines and the assignments and the grading breakdown down here. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but if you wanted kind of a quick view of what's happening, look at those links, but do look at the entire full syllabus. So that's under here. If you want to or need to reach me for any reason during the semester, the best way to reach me is email. I am not on campus right now, as none of us are because this is an asynchronous class, but I do check my email pretty regularly throughout the day. So if anything comes up, question about the course, something you need to talk to me about, I encourage you to email me. And honestly, I encourage you to email me anyway. If anything is happening with you that I should know about, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I just don't want you to get to the end of the semester and tell me that, something happened, you had an emergency. Do keep me in regular loop. I'm a real person behind the screen, and I'm here to help you with anything that I can. With that said, there's also a link here called I Have a Question. So again, we don't all meet in person all at the same time. And so a lot of this is on each of us to absorb the material on our own. That means we might have questions. We might have questions about something we've read. We may have questions about a deadline, what an assignment should look like, anything. We might have questions about what's going on in the law. Please use this discussion board for those questions. Everybody in class can see your questions. So sometimes each other can answer each other's questions. I make it a policy to check this board every day. I don't have it open on my computer, 24 hours a day, but if you put a message here, I will see it and respond to it within a day or two. So please use this board as another way to reach out to me. Obviously, if you have something private, send it by an email. This everybody can see. Okay, so just a little bit about how the class is also organized. You may have already realized that there is not a textbook to purchase for this class. You heard that correctly. Do not purchase a textbook for this class. You don't need one. The reason is really quite simple. There's a lot of wonderful free resources out there to learn about the law. A lot of government websites, courthouse websites, school websites provide wonderful information for free. The other reason I don't like using a textbook for this class is also there's not a great one out there. But the law does change. In fact, we're going to talk about some of the changes happening right now as I record this video. I'm recording this on Friday, May 27th. The current Supreme Court term will end at exactly the last date of our class. You may have seen in the news that there is a rather important, significant case before the U.S. Supreme Court involving the right to choose or abortion rights. That is an area of law that is quite in flux right now. So I like to not use a book because we need to talk about what's happening in the law currently. And it doesn't make sense to read cases all the time that are very old. Some of them we do read, but we also need to talk about current events because there's a lot legally happening today that impacts us. And then the third reason I don't like to use a textbook, is because I also like to bring in Massachusetts law. Now, I know some of you may be outside the state, maybe you're not Massachusetts based and you're taking this class, but because we are based in Massachusetts, I do like to sprinkle in some local laws specific to Massachusetts so that we understand what the different, what's happening here in our own backyards as opposed to just national law or law in other states. So what does that mean for you? It still means that there is reading material and videos to watch. So let me launch into a little bit about how the class is organized, and you'll see where all of your content is. Instead of having a book next to you or a book on the screen, I will be giving you the material. So I'm going to click over here where it says Coursework Weekly Units. By the way, I'm going to pause for a second. This video I'm making is a system called a Screencast-O-Matic. It allows me to record up to 15 minutes at a time for free. I am now at 8 minutes. When I get to 15 minutes, I will stop this video and then you'll be able to finish the welcome part in part 2. It usually takes about 2 parts. So I'm about halfway through part 1. Okay, so click on weekly units. And right now you should be able to just see week 1. And you can see that it's dated here and there's an outline of what we will cover during this first week. As we go through the semester, we will build up to 5 weeks of this semester. In a full spring or fall semester, it's 15 weeks. So that is me telling you we are going to work at triple the pace of a regular semester. You heard that right. This is still a 3-credit class, even though it meets in the, in the summer semester. But we're going to finish in about 4.5 weeks, what we normally finish in 15 weeks. So the pace is pretty quick and there's a lot of material, but I'm confident we can get through it together. Okay, so every week will look like this. This is a folder. When you click on week 1, a folder will open and it will welcome you with a meme. I'm a big fan of memes and GIFs. I do like them. Then there will be every week a section called How to Manage Your Week, where there's an outline of what is happening that week and what the due dates are. Okay, so what that means is, so I'll just go through this quickly and then I'll break it down. So there's an outline of the week. There's a folder called Lecture Material. I'll open that in a minute, but lecture material is like your textbook. Think of that as all the materials that you would need to understand and learn the content. And it always looks like this with a folder. So every week there's an outline like this of what you have to do. lecture material, which is like your book. Then I scroll down and there's a discussion board every week. I'll talk about those. And last but certainly not least, there are a couple of assignments each week. There are no exams or tests in this class. I really prefer assignments because that allows us to interact more with the content. Law to me is not really about memorization. I don't really need to time you to know if you've memorized something in the law. I'd much rather you have assignments that allow you to reflect and think about the law and take your time with them. Because it is a quickly paced class, there are at least 2 assignments every week. So every week there's a discussion board and there are 2 assignments, again, because we're moving pretty quickly. So even though you'll have that full week to read your textbook material, your lecture material, and do the discussion board and work on the assignments, you will have a full week, but do not wait until the last minute. I promise you you won't be able to finish it all in one day. Remember, think of this as this 1 week is equivalent to about close to 3 weeks of class material in a traditional semester. So what you would normally do in 3-ish weeks, we're going to do in 1 week. So I encourage you to get started on your material at the beginning of every week. Okay, so a little bit about how this looks, and I'm going to break down each one of these. I'm going to break down the lecture material, the discussion board, and then the assignments. Just so we know a little bit more about it. Again, I'm at about 11.5 minutes. When I reach about 14.5, I will stop this video and we'll hop on to video number 2. Okay, so the lecture material is your textbook. As I mentioned, we don't have a textbook for this class, so all the material that you'll need is from here in the lecture material. So it varies each week. Sometimes in 1 week there will be a video to watch. There'll be videos every single week. So there'll be videos to watch that look like me recording. Sometimes I have a video, sometimes I don't. So there'll be a recording like that. Then there'll be some content like this. So I have typed up some notes for you to read. Again, this looks like a textbook, so you can just read the notes that I have written you. And then I will also post videos that I have not created. Sometimes other sources, courthouses and other government websites have created some good videos as well that you should watch. There's a lot in here. So again, think of this as the equivalent of reading like a couple of chapters of a textbook. So you can see that some of these are links like this one, and then there's a PowerPoint to watch. Because we're building a lot of material into each unit, there are different folders. So in this one unit, we're going to cover the framework of the U.S. Constitution. We're going to cover the legislative process, the judicial process, the courts, and then even in this first week of class, we're going to learn how to read a court decision. This is a big folder. It might look like one folder, but there's a lot of content in this one folder. So again, make sure you get started on this earlier so that you're not trying to cram this all in the last 24 hours of the week. So your lecture material will look similar to this every week. Again, a mix of content to read, videos to watch, and maybe some websites to visit as well. You can certainly print out any of this if you're a person. Actually, I am one too. I mean, I grew up in a day before we learned on computers all the time, so I actually do still like paper and I like taking notes and highlighters. So you can print any of this out that you like as well and save it for yourself. And it will stay up here all semester. Week 1 will be here the entire time. Okay, so that's lecture material. The next thing, if you look at, it's both assignments, I got out of that, is both assignments and discussion boards. Okay, I'm already at minute 14, so let me just mention discussion boards really quickly. Discussion boards are our class discussion. The law is very interesting and very fascinating, and there is a lot for us to discuss. I do not want the semester to go by where you're just by yourself reading the material and we're not actively engaging and talking about it. So we will use the discussion board. Every week there is one discussion board assignment. You must post to the prompt that is given to you here. I know it's a lot to read, but read the prompt, respond to the prompt by Thursday of every week. So the material always becomes available, I should have mentioned this earlier, on a Monday morning of each week. And your first deadline of the week is to respond to a discussion board post by Thursday. I'm at 15 minutes. I'm going to pause this here to be continued on the next video.